Hello there, and welcome to a good old-fashioned land battle. None of this domination bullshit. We've got a little multiplayer battle. I'm rocking Kislev and Boris versus old Skarbrand and Khorne on the Blasted Lands map, which is a fairly open map with a few little craters here and there just to make things interesting. A few spots of trees around to make use of as well, but Khorne army approaching me. I'm playing fairly defensive for the most part, letting them come to me. I've got some missiles to use. I've got armoured Kossars up front. These are my 3-unit frontline missiles on these as well, so they can do a bit of damage before the enemy arrives. These are the great weapon version. Looking for that armor piercing. I'm mostly going for damage against them. On the flanks, I've got a unit of Kossar spears. They've, of course, got their missiles, but are also anti-large, although not the strongest unit in the world, of course. For my backline, I've got 2 units of Streltsy. These are armor-piercing missiles, very strong. They can go into melee and do a bit of work there as well, so they'll be looking for any of the large stuff that comes in. They'll be trying to blast it down. Got 2 units of those back here. And then out front, I've got some light war sleds. I thought these would be good against the Khorne infantry. They won't be able to do a great deal about it. If I can keep it moving and keep it blasting away, should be able to disrupt them and maybe keep them in front of my missiles a little bit longer, like my infantry missiles a little bit longer, just to help get some damage there too. Out on the flanks, 2 units of Bear Cav, because no army with Boris would be complete without Bear Cav. So we've got 2 units of those looking for any of the large stuff, Minotaurs, Bloodthirsters, Soul Grinders, Skarbrand himself. That's who they're going to be looking for. My enemy out on the flank, he's got some Furies and some Doggos, no doubt going to be looking to try and disrupt my missiles. And he's not messing around with a big old flank over my right side, coming straight round to get behind me, going to get after my Streltsy if I'm not careful. Bloodthirster on this side as well. He's probably going to be adding to that assault. Just a huge damage dealer, big problem. Going to be a tough boy to take down, especially as Skarbrand is on the field as well. So that's a double Bloodthirster build coming my way, essentially. He is, of course, an absolute damage powerhouse and is going to be a tough one to stop. And that reminds me, I forgot to point out who my lord is. Well, I've got a hero here as well. Got an Ice Witch with just a couple of spells. One kind of Spirit Leechy type spell and Death Frost, and a little buff as well. Then, of course, Boris is my lord. He is anti-large. He's going to be looking to take down those Bloodthirsters, ideally. He's got lots of buffs on him to help him out, so he's pretty strong. So that's our lords. The enemy's front line, 3 units of Bloodletters, the regular kind. They're armor-piercing and anti-infantry, though, so they can do pretty well against Kislev front lines, I think. So 3 units of those. That's matching up with my 3 armored Kossars, potentially. He's also got some Blood Crusher Cav. These are big, heavy, hard-hitting Cav, armor-piercing. No bonus versus large or anything, though, so they're going to be looking to smash infantry primarily. There'll be a problem if we can't get a hold of them, but there it is. There's both of our armies. Let's do it. Got my war sleds out front. They're just popping off a few missiles on the Bloodletters. As they don't have a ton of armor, we can get some damage on them. Although maybe I should have been focusing the Blood Crushers, because they're a little bit more dangerous overall. Sending my Bear Cav to the right side to combat the Bloodthirster and all the Doggos coming round, because I have nothing over that side to protect from all this, so bringing over my berries for that. Ideally want to try and stop those Doggos getting a hold of my Streltsy. Got my war sleds on skirmish, so they should be staying away from stuff. Playing it cool on the flanks, waiting to see what they do. My missiles from my front line starting to shoot the Bloodletters. I have put Death Frost on Skarbrand over here, which is like a Spirit Leech type spell. Didn't do a great deal of damage to him though. Getting into these Doggos. Just sending 1 unit, keeping the other unit ready to see what this Bloodthirster does. When he comes in, they're going to try and follow him and get rid of him. Not sure whether they can take him down or not. I'm still kind of learning all the matchups and stuff myself, but front lines clashing here. Bloodletters, Armored Kossars. Again, not sure who wins this either. These are 2 pretty similar cost units, so could be an even fight. The Bloodthirster comes in, though, starts munching away on my caster, who I don't quite notice, so she's getting beaten up. My bears are too busy admiring the view, so a little micro error from me there. I'm getting rid of the Doggos back here, though. Got one of them wavering. The other one's going to sneak past, though. Hard to stop them. They're too quick. They're going to come up after my Kossars, though, thankfully. They probably should have gone for my Streltsy here. Would have been a better target, but I think they're trying to stop me from shooting Skarbrand, which I am. Done very little damage to him, though. He's losing some Bloodletters around here. These armored Kossars are in a spot of bother, though. Skarbrand going to be tough to stop. My other Streltsy also trying to work him down, trying to get rid of Skarbrand. He is, of course, one of the big dangers. And looks like he's going to come and get him, or not. Oh, no. Oh, breath attack. Oh, I didn't even know he did that, to be honest. I missed that. That did a little bit of damage to us. Not the best angle for it. You probably want to be side on, much like dragon breath attacks. The other Bloodthirster in here as well are disrupting my other Streltsy, but Boris coming to answer, taking on this Bloodthirster. We'll see if he can take them down. The Cav in here looks like the Blood Crushers getting beaten up by my Bear Cav. I think my war sleds got wiped out by the Cav as well. I don't think I microed them very well at all. I think I just relied on the skirmish, which was a bad idea. Bear Cav, though, taking down those Blood Crushers, nice. But here come the Minotaurs, who I forgot to mention, actually. There's some great weapon Minotaurs for Khorne. I'm going to get my bears out of there. So far, our front line has been smashed through. We did hold here, but the Bloodletters and the Bloodthirsters broke us through. Bears getting away here, trying to draw these Minotaurs through these Kossar spears. They're not the best spears in the world, but they'll at least be able to do some damage. Boris still taking on this Bloodthirster. I popped all of his abilities in a bid to try and help him defeat this bastard, and he seems to be getting it done with a little bit of help from some missiles. Boris up at a big 735 weapon strength there, taking on that Bloodthirster like a champ. Some Bloodletters, though, coming for my Streltsy. They can, of course, put up a fight. Thought they were charging them, but they're just trying to get closer. I think I told them to focus fire that Bloodthirster, which has helped a little bit. Bloodletters all over them, though. On this side, my other bears trying to get rid of Skarbrand here. My worst fear in a battle like this is to have those two Bloodthirsters near the end of the battle in good health. But this battle, a pretty close one so far. The favor bar sticking in the middle, up the top there. Losing one Bloodthirster, though, is Khorne. Our bears and Boris have taken him down. That means we can now focus on the big man left. A lot of doggos still around, though, causing us some problems. My bears are wavering. We're losing some bears. Skarbrand's still got about half his health as well, so he's not out of the woods yet. Trying to get rid of these Bloodletters with a big hammer and anvil here. Our Frostcaster has survived. She's back. She's been popping off a spell here and there. But this battle's getting close now. My army's kind of running out of steam. We've got dogs all over our missiles. We really need to keep our missiles firing just to help wear Skarbrand down. Boris is over here, though. The anti-large killer. Can he take out Skarbrand? We shall see. I'm going to buff him up with Frostblades from my Ice Maiden. She's going to help out with that buff. And it's pretty much one-on-one Skarbrand and Boris now. A few Bloodletters running around, but they're not really in the fight. Skarbrand still got a good bit of health left. Boris a little bit more, but Skarbrand probably hits harder. Bringing in some bears to reinforce, though. Although Skarbrand's bringing in some dogs to reinforce. I think I prefer my reinforcements. Over on this side, though, the Minotaurs are still going, and they've got a lot of health. They've got about over half health, I think, and they're going in on my caster here. I tried to get her out of there. I learned this a little bit too late. My missiles are blasting away at them, but she is going to get munched down. But she's used a fair bit of magic, so it's not the end of the world. Doggo's coming, though. Over here, Boris has been beaten. He's been beaten back, and he's running away. He's got 267 health. So he's nearly dead. He's probably taken too many leadership penalties to come back to this one, especially if any doggos or anything chase him off. Skarbrand is about to go down, though. We've done enough damage to him to allow the bears and the Streltsy to finish him off. So both lords pretty much out of the fight. But the favor bar remains goddamn even. Can my Streltsy do enough to finish off these Minotaurs? They still got half health. The bears are coming for him, though. They're going to countercharge both anti-large units this, so it could go either way. Minotaurs with a little more health than their models, I imagine, because they've got more health overall. Bears start falling. It's getting close. Can we hold them off? We're losing bears. We need some help. Boris ain't dead yet, baby. He's coming back, but can he finish the job? So Boris just about managing to survive. He's wavering, but he's coming back anyway. He'll get a little extra leadership on that charge. He takes down one Minotaur, uses his buff to get some direct damage on them, but unfortunately falls himself. So it's all over for the enemy, because somehow we won. Those Minotaurs routed. Streltsy must have done enough. Put a few extra bullets in them to finish him off. Boris's contribution, though, no doubt helped a little bit. GG's, Boris. You will not be forgotten, my friend. He's down there somewhere, buried under the corpses. So Kislev scrapes a win this day, although very Pyrrhic it is, as basically only a few Streltsy are going home. But if Boris had died or been routed off earlier, I don't think they would have held on, so Boris saving the day. Did a good bit of damage there as well, 2,200. Nice work, nice value from him. My Frost Maiden, only a little bit of value, but she only had one damage spell. The other one was a buff, so she did okay. Bears, 1,700 and 1,200. Nice damage from them. My Light War Sled, nearly 700 damage. Not bad for a unit that I pretty much forgot about, so mostly their missile damage, I imagine, doing the work there. My Streltsy, nice work from one of them, especially not bad from the other one. My Armored Kossars, not so much. They're the front line that got smashed, of course. Only so much you can do, really, against Khorne front lines. My Kossar Spears, doing a little bit. Not terrible, considering they're pretty cheap. They pretty much made their money back at least. So really a group performance, but all about the bears for my army. Skarbrand, 2,400 damage. He did a lot of work there. The other Bloodthirster as well, another 2,000. So a lot of work from the big boys, as we would expect. Minotaurs as well, another 2,000. All about the large for this Khorne army. The Blood Crushers, still 1200, even though they seem to get beaten up by bears pretty early. They still got a fair bit of work done. And then the Bloodletters actually doing pretty well for themselves. 1400 for one of them, that's good. Not a lot from the little stuff, but all about the large for the Khorne army, but not quite enough as Boris was able to fend them off. There's a little land battle for you. I hope you've enjoyed this anyway. Let me know if you like this or whether you'd like to see more domination battles instead. Hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. See you in the future.